last lesson closed with a promise. The adjectives catch up. The nouns of the third declension are complete. Today the adjectives join them. Here are the three words that will lead the way.
ācer, omnis, par.
King, every, equal. Each one leads a class because adjectives of the third declension come in exactly three shapes. 3 endings, 2 endings, 1 ending, and the nominative alone tells you which shape you hold. Better still, you already own their endings. They are the I-stem endings of lesson 43, now worn by adjectives. One family of tables, one habit of agreement, and the whole third declension, nouns and adjectives together, belongs to you. 15 new words come with this lesson, and 9 of them are the new third declension adjectives. 6 of the 9 share one shape, a nominative in
is.
Here are the 6.
Brevis,
Short, brief. Think brevity.
difficilis,
Difficult, its opposite comes next.
facilis,
Easy, think facile.
fortis,
Brave, think fortitude.
gravis,
Heavy, severe, serious. Think grave. A grave matter is a heavy one.
omnis,
Usually every in the singular or in the plural. Think omnibus, the carriage for everyone. The other 3 adjectives wear different nominatives.
ācer,
Sharp, keen, eager. Think accurate. Its dictionary entry carries 3 forms, 1 for each gender.
par,
Equal, think par. A golfer's par is the score held equal. The entry shows a single form with the genitive beside it.
vēlōx,
Swift, think velocity. Again, one nominative for all 3 genders, and the genitive tells you the base. 9 adjectives, 3 shapes of nominative. The shapes are the whole story of today's grammar. 6 more words complete the 15, and the warning rides with the first 2.
paucī,
Few, only a few. Think paucity. It is naturally plural.
secundus,
Second, and also favorable. To the Romans, a following wind was a favorable wind. The opposite of adverse. Watch for that second sense in today's reading. Both decline like the first and the second declension adjectives you have known since lesson 11. They are here for the story, not the tables. Then a noun.
signum,
A signal, a sign or a military standard. And the 3 verbs, all of the first conjugation.
colloco,
Arrange, station, place, think collocation.
demonstro,
Point out, explain, think demonstrate.
mando,
Commit, entrust, think mandate. Now the grammar. Rule 1. Every Latin adjective lives in one of 2 homes. Either it declines in the first and the second declensions, like the good, the sick, and the free of earlier lessons,
bonus, eger, liber,
or it belongs to the third declension. There is no third home. Rule 2. Nearly all adjectives of the third declension have I-stems, and they decline almost exactly like the I-stem nouns of lesson 43. The endings you drilled on the enemy, the city, and the sea are about to return unchanged. Rule 3. An adjective like the good has a different nominative for each gender.
bonus, bona, bonum,
Call that an adjective of 3 endings. Third declension adjectives split into 3 classes. Class 1, 3 endings, a different nominative for each gender. Class 2, 2 endings, masculine and feminine alike, the neuter different. Class 3, 1 ending, all 3 genders alike. Rule 4 makes the sorting instant. A nominative in a means 3 endings. A nominative in
is,
means 2, everything else means 1. Sort today's 9. The keen one stands alone in class 1. The 6 in
is,
fill class 2. Equal and swift with no marker at all are the 2 adjectives of 1 ending. Class 1 in the singular, stem,
acri,
bassi.
ācer,
The masculine nominative is
ācer,
the base ends in 2 consonants, so Latin slips a short letter E in before the R to make the word speakable. The same inserted vowel you met in the field and the father.
ager, pater,
From there the masculine runs.
ācer, acris, acri, acrin, acri.
The feminine matches it everywhere except the nominative, which is
acris,
The neuter sets its nominative and accusative to
acre,
and matches elsewhere. Now look at the ablative row. Every gender ends in the letter I with a macron, the first I stem badge, and on adjectives it never softens to the letter E. The plural, masculine and feminine share every form.
acres, acrium, acribus, acris, acribus,
The neuter,
acria, acrium, acribus, acria, acribus,
every badge from lesson 43 is here. The genitive plural in,
ium,
the neuter plural in,
ia,
the accusative plural in,
is,
with the familiar
es,
still allowed. Now one caution, and it is for your eye only. Genitive singular,
acri,
accusative plural,
acris,
one macron apart on the page, and in the pronunciation of this course they sound exactly the same. Your ear cannot tell them apart, your eye can. The bare I is the genitive singular, the marked long I is the accusative plural, and the context settles the rest. Class 2, the largest class, and 6 of today's words already belong to it. The model is the word for every. Stem.
omni,
Basi.
omn,
Masculine and feminine share a single column. The singular.
omnis, omnis, omni, omnem, omni,
The neuter differs only where neuters always differ. Nominative and accusative.
omne,
The plural, masculine and feminine.
omnis, omnium, omnibus, omnis, omnibus,
And the neuter plural.
omnia, omnium, omnibus, omnia, omnibus,
Unnote on meaning. In the singular, this word is usually every road. In the plural, it is all roads. Same adjective, 2 English faces. The other 5 of its class: short, difficult, easy, brave, heavy, decline exactly the same way. Class 3, one ending, the model is equal. Stem.
pari,
Basi.
par,
The nominative is the base itself, written with a long vowel, and it serves all 3 genders at once.
par,
The singular, masculine, and feminine.
par paris, pari, parem pari,
The neuter changes one cell only. Its accusative repeats the nominative.
par,
The plural, masculine, and feminine.
pares parium paribus, pares paribus,
The neuter plural.
paria parium paribus, paria paribus,
So an adjective of one ending keeps the same form for every gender except in the accusative singular and the nominative and accusative plural. Swift builds its own nominative,
vēlōx,
then runs the same table on the base.
vēlōx,
Collect the family marks before we read. First, every I stem adjective takes the marked long I in the ablative singular. The nouns of lesson 43 usually kept the letter E there in the masculine and feminine,
cede,
for instance, but the adjectives never do.
acri, omni, pari,
Second, the plural badges, genitive in,
ium,
loiter in,
ia,
accusative in,
is,
or
est,
third, rule 5, the honest hedge. Nearly all is not all. A few adjectives of one ending have consonant stems, and those decline exactly like the consonant stem nouns of lessons 39 and 40. You will meet them later. Every adjective in today's lesson is an I stem. Now agreement. An adjective agrees with its noun in gender, number, and case, not necessarily in declension. The book proves it 6 times.
vireiter,
A keen man, second declension noun, third declension adjective.
legio acris,
A keen legion, feminine.
animal ecre,
A keen animal, neuter.
ager omnis,
Every field.
scutum omne,
Every shield, endings differ, agreement holds.
prelium par,
Unequal battle, 2 quick tests. Put the keen animal into the ablative singular.
animali acri,
Both words take the long I, now the genitive plural of every field.
agrorum omnium,
Second declension ending, I stem ending side by side. Now read. The book sends the Romans into enemy country. Translate each sentence in the pause. First,
Olim pedites Romani cum equitibus velocibus in hostium urbem iter facebant.
once the Roman foot soldiers with swift horsemen were marching into the enemy city. There is swift in the ablative plural, I stem endings on a one-ending adjective. Next,
Ubi non longea fuerunt, rapuerunt agricolam, qui eis viam brevem et facilem demonstravit.
when they were not far away, they seized a farmer who pointed out to them a short and easy road, two-ending adjectives, feminine noun, shared column. The battle comes.
Tum milites fortes contineri, a prelio non poterant, et ācer imperator signum tuba dari iusit.
Then the brave soldiers could not be held back from battle, and the king general ordered the signal to be given with the trumpet. The king one in its masculine inserted vowel form. Next,
Grave et ācre erat prelium, sed oste non pares Romanis erant.
the battle was severe and sharp, but the enemy were not equal to the Romans. The two neuter forms ride on the battle, and equal takes the dative, lesson 22's rule. Two lines close the story. First,
Secundum prelium Romanis erat gratum.
the favorable battle was pleasing to the Romans. Not the second battle. The story has only one. This is the vocabulary's warning come true. The same word means second and favorable, and only sense can choose between them. The book ends on a proverb.
Fortuna fortibus semper fave.
Fortune always favors the brave. The brave in the dative. A line worth keeping, hear it once more.
Fortuna fortibus semper favet.
Now you write the Latin. First, some months are short, others are long.
Ali menses sunt breves, ali longi.
The month is masculine. It stood on last lesson's list. So short takes the masculine and feminine plural, while long, a first and second declension adjective, takes its own masculine plural. Second, to seize the top of the mountain was difficult.
Summum montem occupare difficile erat.
The subject is the infinitive, to seize, and lesson 37 called the infinitive a neuter noun. So difficult appears in its neuter form. When a whole action is the subject, its adjective goes neuter. The last one is a question and its answer using the question words of lesson 36. Did not the king entrust a heavy crown of gold and all his money to a faceless slave?
Non rex coronam gravem auri et omnem pecuniam suam servo perfido mandavit.
The particle promises the answer yes. Heavy and all sit in the feminine accusative with crown and money. The reply yes, but the slave had never before been faceless.
Vero, sed servus ante annum quam perfidus fuerat.
Truly, then the pluperfect. He had never been faceless before. The lesson in one breath. Every adjective lives in one of two homes, the first and the second declensions or the third. Third declension adjectives sort by their nominative in, three endings in,
Is,
two, anything else, one. Nearly all are I stems, so the marks follow. Ablative singular in
I,
genitive plural in,
ium,
neuter plural in,
ia,
accusative plural in,
is,
or. And one macron, seen, never heard, keeps the genitive singular apart from the accusative plural. A few one-ending stragglers keep consonant stems. That is rule 5. 15 new words are yours. 9 of them the new third declension adjectives. Next lesson leaves the third declension behind for a new family altogether, the fourth declension. To practice what you just learned, this course has free exercises and AI graded feedback on ludium.ai. The link is in the description.